Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. This is a recap for July 12, 2023. Today we got the CPI number before the market opened, and it came below expectation, and that caused the market to rally. You could see that the expectation on month-to-month is 0.3 and came in at 0.2. Similarly, for year-over-year, 3.1 is the expectation, and it came in at 3.0, so slightly under the expectation. Likewise, for the X-Fleet and Energy, the expectation of 0.3, and it came in at 0.2, and also year-over-year, expectation is 5.0, and it came in at 4.8. Now, here's how the market did today. We see that the NASDAQ 100 was the top performer with 1.24% gain, or 188 points, and the NASDAQ composite gained 1.15%, 158 points. Russell 2000, 1.05%, gained 20 points, and the S&P 500 gained almost 0.75%, 33 points, and the New York Stock Exchange composite 0.72%, 114 points. Dow Jones Industrial 0.25%, 86 points, and the Dow Jones Transportation actually had a loss of 0.16%, or close to 25 points. And looking at the week to date, the Russell 2000 still leading the pack with 3.68%, and the Dow Jones Transportation is second place with 2.29% gain. New York Stock Exchange composite 2.17%. The NASDAQ composite 1.89%, Dow Jones Industrial 1.82%, NASDAQ 100 1.8%, and the S&P 500 1.66%. Look at this intraday chart, this 3-minute intraday chart. For the SPY, we see that it gapped up and ramped up to a high of the day after the first hour of trading, and then pulled back to the low of the day before the lunch hour. Then we pretty much kind of chop around throughout the day and finish off pretty much near the mid-range. So it's finished at 446.01. And here, looking at the up-down volume, we see on the New York Stock Exchange, it never went negative. It was positive throughout the entire session, and the up-down volume ratio is 2.37 to 1 in favor of the up volume. A little bit weaker than yesterday. I believe yesterday was somewhere around 4.5. And looking at the daily advanced decline, we see that the daily advanced decline started out strong, then kind of weakening throughout the day, and finished off with only 1,375 more advancing issue than decliner. Initially, it was above 2,200. So definitely some weakness came in, and basically, the market's pretty much faded after the open. And here, looking at the New York Stock Exchange ticks, which pretty good, open at positive ticks and stay pretty much positive throughout the entire session, except a few brief period of dipping below the zero level. We did have a few sell program, but there were a lot more buy program than sell program, and the cumulative tick is positive. And the NASDAQ 100 acted similarly to the S&P 500, gap up, ramped up to a high of the day in the first 15 minutes, I would say 45 minutes of trading, reached the high of the day, and then faded down to the noon hour before it came back up and sort of stabilized and finished off at 372.90. So it was up 1.26% or so. And for the up-down volume, we see that the up-down volume was also positive on the open, and then right before the noon hour, we saw it dip just slightly negative for a little period before it bounces right back up to the positive. And since then, it remained positive throughout the remaining session. And also, the up-down volume ratio is 2 to 1 in favor of the up volume, and the Russell 2000 was 2.2 to 1 in favor of the up volume. And the daily advanced decline for the NASDAQ market, also similarly to the New York Stock Exchange, opened up and kind of faded throughout the day, but not as bad as the New York Stock Exchange, because it came up close to the midpoint before it kind of come back down near the low of the day and finish with 1,363 more advancing issue than declining issue. But again, notice that initially it was up near the 2,300 more advancing issue than declining issues. And for the NASDAQ, the tick is positive also throughout the day. Most of the day, we did not see as many buy program as we saw in the New York Stock Exchange. And we did see a few sell program down here. The cumulative tick is also positive throughout the entire session. Now, looking at the QQQ on this daily chart here, we see that it also put in a new 52-week high today and also gap up and put in a spinning top, a little bit more bullish spinning top candle. We've also got a gap up here. So once again, this uptrend is still intact. Remember, we were talking about breaking this wedge here, so it broke on the upside. So right now, we're basically looking to see would it come back in to double check this this wedge, or would it continue to push higher. So this could be a fake out, or it could be a breakout. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, because tomorrow we're gonna get the employment number. So that will also drive the market. We're gonna get the employment number an hour before the market open. And looking at this 16-minute chart of the QQQ, you see it's also gapped up and pushed into this upper range of the expected move before it pulled back down and check this zone here. Then it got a nice bounce off of this zone and then pushed back into this range and pretty much just kind of chop around inside of this range here at 372.70. So for tomorrow on the upside scenario, to see would it be able to come up to the top of this range and possibly push through and maybe work itself up toward this 378.90 area. And on the downside is to come back in and check this zone once again and then see would it be able to get another push. And if it doesn't, and it failed to hold this zone, then I'm looking for this thing to come down and check this 367.48, then continue to move down to this zone here, down here at near this 364 area. Looking at the 16-minute chart on the SPY here, you see that it gapped up today and then pushes up and put in a daily high. Then it pulled back into this range here, this upper range of the weekly expected move. Then just kind of chop around right above this range here all day long. So right now, we're basically looking for the possibility of continuing to move back into this range and possibly come back down here and check this high once again, and that will be somewhere around that 443 area, or it will continue to move up and pushes above here into this zone and possibly work itself toward this 450 level. So those are the two levels to keep an eye on, is this right here, somewhere around 442.60 and 450.30, or at least up here at 448. Just get into the zone here. Now, if it break this zone, then we look for 450, and if it break this this zone here, then we'd be looking for this thing to possibly work itself down to this zone, and that would be between somewhere around 337.75 and 337.25 or so. Now let's take a look at the ES market profile, the E-mini S&P 500. Remember yesterday's video, we were talking about that if prices open up here, then we're basically looking for this thing to come down and possibly get in here and fill these single prints. Well, we got a little fade today, but it did not make it down. So tomorrow, we're going to continue to look for this to come down and take out this poor high here. Then tag this point of control and possibly come in and fill some of these single prints. That's the downside tomorrow. Now, the upside is basically we just come up and take out the 45.30. And if we take a look at the E-mini S&P 500 weekly chart here on the candlestick, we see the next potential level using this volume profile here. Here's a ledge up here, so somewhere around 45.95 area, and possibly also up here, maybe 46. So those are some level on the upside to keep an eye on if this thing is continue to move higher, because right now it's sitting right near this little ledge here, this high volume node. Now, just take a quick look at the yield curve. We see that the yield curve did not change that much. It's still sitting at 0.88, minus 0.88. So we're still in a level pointing toward a recession. And for the 10-year yield, we did see it came down the last few sessions after it tagged the 4% level. So I don't know what the market is pricing in right now. They're pricing in that the Fed won't hike in September. I think that that might be a little bit jumping ahead the gun here, and also a little bit wishful thinking. I think Jay Powell has already said pretty much loud and clear it's going to be 2 more rate hikes at least for this year. Now, we did see the dollar come down when it came down and came down to this 100 level, this 101. Remember, we talked about that. If it is unable to break above this 103.80 and move up toward the 105, we expect it to come back down and test these levels down here. So you can see today it dipped below that level. So tomorrow, let's see what it would it get a bounce back up above this level, or would it continue to move down? Probably somewhere around this 99 area here. So that will be one area to keep an eye on, is somewhere around that 99.50 area if it doesn't get a bounce back above the 100 level. And with the weak dollar, we saw gold came back up. So notice that gold is up at the 1962 level today. So we'll see what it continue to push up toward this 2000. Remember, we were saying that if we could get up and get above this 1937, 1940 level, then we'll be looking for a possible push up to this 2000. Or otherwise, we'd be, if it stay under this 1937, we'll be looking for the possibility to come back down and check this 1900 level once again and possibly get down to this 1890 level here. So right now, it seems to be making a move up. If the dollar continue to weaken, we probably will see gold move up to this 2000 mark. So looking at this S&P 500 chart here, we can see that the S&P 500 finished with a shooting star type of a candle today. And we're going to see would it continue to move back down and fill this gap in the next couple of days and close inside of this weekly range. Or would it continue to push higher and come up to this 4513 area, because today it has not tagged the 4500 level yet, and I believe that it probably will likely go and tag that 4500 before we see a little bit more of a reversal back down. So we'll see how high this thing will go, or what step it will take before it go up and tag the 4500. But for me, I'd be keeping an eye out for this gap to get filled in the next couple of days and possibly come back down. But right now, it's still forming a higher high and a higher low. And today, basically, I saw a new 52-week high from the S&P 500. Hope you found these recap video to be useful and informative. If so, smash that thumbs up to give it a like and also help promote the video on YouTube. And if you are new to this channel, be sure to click the subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thank you for watching and stay safe.